It is busy times in Manchester United towers. We've obviously got Onana in, we've got Mount in. We're on the verge, hopefully, of bringing Rasmus Højlund in. But what about Sofyan Amrabat? The Moroccan midfielder lit up the World Cup, one of the best midfielders at that competition, and he's been heavily linked with Manchester United. Now, I've let these rumours sort of settle and, develop. Now we're going to cover a full story of Amrabat to Man United. Where did they begin? How reliable are they? Where is it developed to? What's the current situation? I'm going to cover everything for you in this video. So if you can, take 1 second now before we begin, drop a like on the video. But let's talk about this man. Because Amrabat to Manchester United, for a lot of fans, is a transfer that would really, really make sense. Kind of a low... We're talking about a player here, by the way, between 20 and 30 million euros. He's 26. He's played under Ten Hag before. And he could be a perfect Casemiro alternative. Now, I'm going to run through the story now, back from December, the whole way through to now. Let's go. So this was his agent and his brother. Was it his brother as well? No, just agent. Just sort of speaking about the hype around Amrabat because of how well he played with Morocco at the World Cup. We fast forward here to the end of January, and that was when Barcelona were really heavily linked with the move for him. I thought he was going to go, but I actually thought he was going to go Barcelona this summer. It kind of felt like the right thing to do. Who is it they've got instead? Is it Romeo? You know, the old Chelsea midfielder, Oriol Romeo. I think they've got him. But 40 million euros was the price quoted in January. That voice just went there. In January, that's kind of changed now. We go fast forward to March here, and this is what his brother said here. I can name 3 clubs who were concrete in the last 2 or 3 days of the transfer window. In January, United wanted a loan with an option to buy, but Fiorentina rejected. We went after Amrabat in January, according to his brother. Now, this is where it starts to develop into July, which is the situation we are in now. Fabrizio Romano, they're confirming back on the 17th of July that Amrabat was on our list of defensive midfielders. However, the arrival of him depended heavily on sales, which is still the case. And that's why I've always sort of let the transfer rumours simmer. And it's really reached a point now where I think it's worth having a discussion. Fabrizio here, with a quote from the CEO of Fiorentina, we've not received any proposal for Amrabat, and that was after reports suggesting that we had already sort of agreed a deal for him. Alfredo Padula, who of course we've been following after his updates on Onana, he's saying that, look, Amrabat, he's on the list of defensive midfielders that Manchester United are interested in signing. Went as far as to say, look, Amrabat already chosen Manchester United as a club that he wants to join. That was a couple of days ago. Fabrizio went after that and said, look, no bids happened yet, but Man United are interested in him. And then we get to the point where we're at now. This is his representative agent. I mean, who is it? Agent, representative? Don't know. There are quite a few clubs interested in Amrabat. Now it's about making the right choice. He's open to a transfer. So is Fiorentina. 2 or 3 clubs he is open to joining. And we fast forward to something I covered in the live stream this morning. This is from Alfredo Padula on the latest. He said, look, he has chosen Manchester United. He's already agreed personal terms right there. 4 to 4.5 million on a multi-year contract, and that he wants to move to Manchester United. And there's been quite a development that's happened quite soon as well. That was obviously the same story from Alfredo Padula, but reports now saying that he has not joined Fiorentina for their pre-season friendly in Belgrade. He's not part of the travelling party. That's a big update, and that's a big bit of news on Amrabat. Now, I want you to let me know what you think about Amrabat in the comments, because this is where it's developed to. The whole way we were linked with him back in what? Apparently we tried to sign him on loan in January. And now we've reached a point where he's not in Fiorentina's travelling squad for their pre-season tour. Alfredo Padula is saying that personal terms have already been agreed. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that he is on that list. But for a lot of people, that's the wrong picture. For a lot of people, Amrabat would be an extremely smart signing. I would look at Amrabat and I would say, is he a player who's going to come in and take our starting 11 up another level in the same way that maybe a Declan Rice could? Now, I don't think he's that sort of signing. But as he showed at the World Cup, he has got some serious resilience and some real quality up against very tough opposition. But what he also showed in that final, I think, against West Ham, which is why I've got that photo up there, that was when Fiorentina were more on the front foot. At the World Cup with Morocco, it was sort of like backs against the wall. Just don't concede and try and sneak a goal. And that's how they got themselves to the semi-final. And it was incredible, really. In that final against West Ham, Fiorentina had a lot of the ball. And he had a lot of the ball. If you watched how he played from deep a lot, being that deeper line playmaker, linking up the defence of the midfield, bringing the ball forward. You know, that player that we need in this squad? Yeah, Amrabat ticks those boxes. And for Erik ten Hag, there's a nice little old photo there of an Amrabat with hair. Wow, it's a shame going bald, isn't it? Anyway, of course, Erik ten Hag managed Amrabat back at Utrecht, which was one of Erik ten Hag's first management jobs. He has experience of managing Amrabat. And if he's going after him, it's because he knows he will do exactly what he wants him to do. And at 26, it's not as if he's past it in any way, shape or form. And that's why the concept for me of Amrabat coming in for 20 to 30 million euros when all bonuses are added into account seems like a very smart idea, especially when you think about what the turnaround of Manchester United's midfield could be. Hypothetically, what we could see here is Fred leaving. Now, Fred was a player who I think Erik ten Hag, he liked last season. I wouldn't say he completely trusted him, but in certain games, certainly Spurs will always stand out. Barcelona will always stand out. Those big games there, Fred really stepped up. In those sort of high intense pressing games, that's where Fred sort of showed his real qualities. But Fred could be leaving. I think we should be getting towards 20 million. I think that's how much he is worth. Van der Beek. You know what I think about Van der Beek. I think this is a summer where Van der Beek needs to leave for his own personal career. Manchester United need to be selling Van der Beek for our club as well. I think he's had enough opportunities. I think now is the time to sort of cut ties and say, you know what, it didn't work out. Injuries got in the way, X, Y, Z. But Van der Beek should be leaving alongside Fred. And then if you add in the conversation as well around Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay being linked with what? A 45-minute play at West Ham. Come on. If West Ham do that, I will sing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles for a while. 45 minutes, in fact. One for every million. But they're being linked with a big move for McTominay. If Manchester United can move, can move Fred on, Van der Beek on, and Scott McTominay on, and then bring in Mason Mount and Amrabat, and we've got Kobbie Mainoo breaking through into the first team squad this year, that is a huge technical upgrade in our midfield quality from Fred, McTominay and Van der Beek to Mount, Amrabat and Mainoo. Different profiles of midfielders, but profiles that suit what Erik ten Hag needs. You might well see, if Manchester United do manage to do this, right, and we sell, we sell Fred, we sell Van der Beek, we sell McTominay, we get the money in, and then we get Amrabat in. Maybe you will see Amrabat become the Casemiro alternative and Kobbie Mainoo play a little bit further forward. Maybe be one of the alternatives to Bruno and Mount in those positions. And that we'll just have Amrabat and Casemiro dovetailing as that deeper lying midfielder. And make no mistake, he would be a very good signing in that respect. 26, in his prime, great experience at the World Cup, showed his quality. I think he showed his quality as well at Fiorentina too. Played under Erik ten Hag before, knows the system, knows exactly what he would need to do. 25 to 30 million is it's just a cheap signing in the current market. And I think it would be very smart from United. So to hear that he's not travelled with Fiorentina is indicative that something is going on behind the scenes. Alfredo Padula is saying that personal terms are already agreed. Of course, it's going to be sales dependent. We need to get Fred out. We need to get Van der Beek out. We need to maybe get McTominay out too. But if we do all of that and then we bring this man in, our midfield next season, could, wow. Seriously, wow. In terms of the upgrade. That's the full story. You can let me know what you think. Do you think he'd be a good signing? Do you think he'd be a smart signing? I think at 25 to 30 million, it's kind of a no-risk signing. And it could be one that works out perfectly. He wants to move, according to reports. Personal terms already agreed. Now, let's get Fred sold. If we're going to be selling him, get it done as soon as possible. Same with Van der Beek, same with McTominay. Bring him in, bring Højlund in, win all the pots. Let me know what you think in the comments below that. Make sure you drop a like in the video.